Hi, I'm Beverly Welch here at the Arbor Gate in Tomball, Texas. I'm joined today by my dear friend Ann Wheeler of Loghouse Herbs. You know, Ann, we get asked all the time, one plant that people want to grow so often and have challenges with, here on the Gulf Coast especially, are lavenders. So I have asked Ann to join us today to give us some tips and tricks on growing these gorgeous plants.
Well, let me recommend first of all that you choose one that you will find at the Arbor Gate because they're locally grown.
Right.
So they'll be the varieties that we do best with.
Okay.
Until just this morning, I always said there are 5 lavenders that we should use.
Okay.
And those would be sweet lavender, Provence lavender, Spanish, Goodwin Creek gray, and in the summer, fern leaf lavender. We have a new one, and the developer of this lavender has called it phenomenal. It's actually a close relative of the Provence and the sweet. You'll notice that the arrangement of the leaves is very similar. This one will become much grayer. The Provence will become much grayer as it matures. This one is several months old and it already has that silvery appearance, but that will change.
Okay.
So if you start with a good variety for our climate first, and I recommend if you're new to growing lavender, try it in a pot. Try it in a container.
Because a lot of the challenge here is drainage.
Drainage and air circulation is so important.
Correct.
And I think if you try lavender in a pot, if you really want to have fun, plant 3 in 3 pots and put them in different places in your garden.
Yes.
You can move them around and find out where they're happy.
Very shortly you'll find out.
You will find out who's happy. So in other words, what you want to focus on is drainage.
Okay.
And each of these pots and this chimney flue can all provide excellent drainage. One of my favorite things that's kind of new to me is this Better Than Rocks, it's called. It's a squishy fiberglassy kind of a material. You can cut one of these into 4 parts and use it in 4 different pots.
Right.
It really facilitates drainage at the bottom. Whereas we used to put rocks, a layer of rocks in the bottom, and sometimes a little rock would get stuck in that drainage hole.
Exactly.
And that cannot happen here.
Right.
So then you put this in the bottom, you start with that, you add Arbor Gate Complete.
Soil Complete, because you drain, again, drainage,
and as you plant and add soil to your container, put some Arbor Gate blend in there as you go to fertilize. Remember that your little plant, when you bring it home, is going to be very small compared to this one and this one. This I planted in early August. So it's still pretty young, and you can see how well it's grown fast.
Now, should we prune these at any stage?
We should, and I'll tell you why. Lavender only flowers on new stems.
Okay.
We used to, the old-fashioned way of saying that is it blooms on new wood.
New wood.
But the new stems are critical. So traditionally, in other climates, they're pruned when the roses are pruned.
Right.
In our climate, I find that's way too late. So if you'll go out there, maybe on Boxing Day, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, late December or very early January, and just take off about this much, I would say you're going to cut right down into the early part of the green stem.
Well, you know, and if you do this in December, you can use these for Christmas gifts too.
Yes, you can. You can use them for Christmas gifts. You can throw them on the fire.
Yes.
Anything to get that aroma into your house.
Perfect.
So once you do that, you can see that's going to make a bushy plant, and the first thing in the spring, it will begin putting buds out very early spring.
Now, your one last tip, your one secret to success with lavender is in this bucket here.
Yes, it is. This is a low-cost bucket full of low-cost rocks. And what this does is to help you recreate that Mediterranean hillside where you would find the great-great-grandmother of this lavender growing.
Right.
And you just put a layer, no, doesn't have to be any deeper than an inch, cover that soil. If you plant it in the ground, do the same thing, in a circle around the plant. That takes the overhead rain, like if a sprinkler happens to hit it, try to move your sprinklers if you want to grow lavender. Don't do that. But if it's a spring rain or a winter rain, this helps to drain that water away from the very vulnerable underside of this shrubbery.
And reflects the heat, again, to help keep it dry.
Reflects the heat.
Plus, it's a great look.
It is a great look. It looks like it was made to be there.
It does.
This is a Mediterranean plant in a stone planter with rock mulch.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Well,
what could be nicer?
Thank you so much, Ann, and we love the lavenders, and thanks for the great tips on growing them.
Good luck with them.